Yeah.
Shalawam, sister Shalawam. Praise to the
Shalom.
Most High. How about Shemal Shai?
Call you have a shy.
Yep. So, without further ado, we're going to get right into it because we have pushed this back like twice, and we do apologize.
Yes, yes.
But though all praise to the Most High that we're able to be here, thank you for being here, Lord
Mhm.
willing. This is edifying to sisters as well as to ourselves. All praise to the Most High. So let's get into it. Lord willing, y'all, week is starting out strong. Your Monday is going good. I feel like time is going by slow. Maybe it's just this one.
What is
So,
it?
all praise to the Most
Shalom.
High. This, gonna go ahead and just start, get right into it, get our foundation precept. This
I'll
first
read.
4:11. What'd you say?
I said I'll read it for you.
Okay, the one.
First Peter 4:11. If any man speak, let him speak as the oracles of God. If any man minister, let him do it as of the ability which God giveth, that God in all things may be glorified through Yahweh Shai Hamashiach, to whom be praise and dominion forever and ever. Amen.
So, I want to speak the oracles of the Most High and the things that are pleasing in His sight. Um, With everything we do, want to glorify the Most High through His Son, Yahushua Hamashiach, because it is only His ability that we're able to do anything, have this platform, get on here, understand these precepts, and talk about these precepts. So I praise the Most High. Um, and then Hebrews 10.
Hebrews 10:24. And let us consider one another to provoke unto love and to good works.
So we're going to provoke our sisters unto love and to good works. To provoke sisters, um, just to remember, we're gonna have marital afflictions in the flesh, and how to deal with it, and some things to remember. So,
Mm,
um, y'all know, did you have anything you want to say real quick? I'm gonna go mute real quick.
fine. And this, you can never talk about marriage afflictions enough. I know we probably did a couple, a couple of by this time of lessons on, you know, this situation in marriage, this going on in your marriage, but you can never talk about it enough because, as we see, it never fails. A lot of sisters, they go through these marriage afflictions and they don't know how to endure. They don't know how to, cleave into the Most High, trust in the Most High when these afflictions come, because they will come. They're not able to use the tools that Yahweh Shem Yahshua has equipped us with to endure through it. So, Lord willing, we can get into the precepts, touch on it, and Lord willing, sisters can endure because this is something that a lot of sisters they fall by. A lot of sisters they lead the truth behind marital afflictions more often times than not.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. I was gonna say, I don't know why, but like a lot of sisters, like she said, they they fall by the wayside. They fall out the truth and they go back into the world because of things that went on in their marriage, and we've seen it.
Yeah.
It's baffling. Like, it's not even funny. It's crazy. Like, I literally, it was Speedy said, I literally just thinking it's crazy because when some sisters, when they marriage start to crumble or go through that affliction, they hit the dough.
Quick.
And that's scary, man. That's scary because, and I know it be real because Satan crafty, bruh. Satan crafty. I'd be lying if I said I didn't have thoughts every now and then, bro. I'm sick of this shit. But
Amen. But you can't fall. You can't fall to it though. When
exactly.
you
And
get those
so,
thoughts, you got to rebuke before
exactly,
letting it fester.
exactly. And I think what happens is sisters, they kind of, I have, I seen a post on YouTube. This was like last night, and it had said, "Don't let Satan tell you a lie in your own voice." So it's like
Mm,
you'll be having these thoughts in your head.
Oh, what happened? It's lucky, y'all. That was Satan. See that? Satan coming quickly. Satan coming immediately.
Okay, but you'll be having these thoughts in your head. You think it's the right thing. Oh yeah, I can't keep doing this. He's not doing he's supposed to do, so I'm able to leave him. And you'll let Satan tell you lies in your head, and it sounds good, and you be deceived by your own vain opinion. You be deceived, and they have overthrown your judgment. Now you caught up out here. And so, it's just important to make sure that we're rebuking those thoughts, because if you don't, like you said, they're gonna fester. And they're gonna turn into action. You gotta rebuke those thoughts. 'Cause if you don't, you're gonna start thinking about, let me figure out a plan to get up away from him. Let me figure out something I can do to go and get my own stuff. And we're, of course, granted certain situations like abuse.
Right, right.
That's granted. We're talking about the things that sisters leave over small stuff, or you and your husband, y'all just can't seem to agree on some things. The Most High, we have to remember that marriage is beautiful and honorable in the eyes of the Most High. So therefore, Satan is doing everything to work against it. Marriage can be very beautiful. It can be very beautiful when done in righteousness, when done the correct way. So you got to ask yourself, do you really think Satan wants a righteous union, raising up children, multiplying in the knowledge? Do you really think that's what Satan wants? So therefore, Satan, he's going to do anything to tear that righteous union down. And it might sound like you hear it a lot, you know, but it's real. Satan, he's going to do everything that he can to tear down that household, because we have to think he's been doing that from the days of old. These spiritual demons, that's been in work since the days. Oh, we got to remember, we fighting spiritual warfare. Our fight, our battles are not flesh and blood, like the scriptures say, they're in the spirit. And so, Shalawam, sisters. And so, even me and some sisters, we were talking about it on Saturday. Even when we go back to Exodus, I'm gonna read it real quick. Exodus chapter 1. I'm gonna just go ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and skip down to verse number 16. And he said, "When you do the office of a midwife to the Hebrew women and seat them upon the stools, if it be a son, then you shall kill him. But if it be a daughter, then she shall live." But the midwives feared God and did not as the king of Egypt commanded them, but saved the man children alive. Um, and the king of Egypt called for the midwives and said unto them, "Why have you done this thing and have saved the men children alive?" And the midwives said unto Pharaoh, "Because the Hebrew women are not as the Egyptian women, for they are lively and are delivered ere the midwives coming unto them." So even back then, of course, that's a man that was doing that Pharaoh, but that ultimately was a spirit on him. Those spiritual demons, it ultimately was a spirit on him, working to already tear down righteous unions, righteous families, to already get the man out of the household, kill the man, get rid of him. We don't want this nation multiplying. We don't want any more. And if you don't have no seed, you can't have no babies. So it's like these spirits have been at work since the days of old to tear down righteous families and righteous unions. So we cannot think these things strange. Marriage is not always rainbows and lollipops. And I think a lot of sisters, we want to get married so bad because we find out who we are. Most of us, came from broken relationships in the world, trauma, not feeling love. So we find out, oh my gosh, I'm an Israelite. I'm supposed to be married and have children. And sometimes you hear a lot of brothers, um, you just hear a lot of, oh, you need to get married, you need to get married, you need to get married. And yes, of course, marriage is a very beautiful thing, but we'll get into this more later. But then sisters start to idolize that, and they feel like their only chance at survival is being a wife. And so, sisters sometimes come into marriage with the wrong idea. They come into marriage of what they've seen on TV shows, on movies, and just other Israelite marriages in the truth. And they think that it's all lollipops, cakes, and cream. Oh, I'm just gonna be submissive, and he's gonna take her out. Like he's gonna go out and work, and I'm gonna take her out. And then when stuff start to get real, spiritual affliction start to come, and you ready to pounce at the first second of affliction. You're not able to endure and withstand that affliction. And marriage is not, it's not a joke. When you make that covenant, when you consummate your marriage and you make that covenant to lay down with that man, You cannot just up and leave when things get hard because you made a vow to be that man's wife. When y'all consummated, you made a vow to be that man's wife. Whether you said it or not, like that was the covenant y'all made when you consummated. That's a vow before that's a covenant before the Lord that y'all have made now that y'all have laid down and consummated that marriage. And so it's like you can't just hit the door when things get hard. And a lot of sisters, they're not able to endure that affliction. And unfortunately, we see a lot of sisters falling out because of marital afflictions. And we just gotta remember that Satan is he's out, and we have to be spiritually girded, fully armed. You know, like the scriptures say, wear the whole armor of the Most High, so you may be able to withstand the wiles of the devil. You cannot withstand Satan if you don't got the whole armor on. So, Lord willing, we can get into it throughout this lesson, and it's helpful for sisters. I'm gonna get Luke 22:31. Did you have something, Yarana? I don't know. I was a bit long winded.
No, no, no. You look. You said it right then and there. We gotta definitely remember that the Most High, he's not taking vows. He's never taken vows lightly. And as women of the Most High, our word is supposed to be our bond. Just like when, even in the world, you know, they take what you say seriously. So how much more the Most High, making a vow before the Most High, be this man's wife, be their life, death. Look, sickness and health. You're supposed to be with that man until he dies. Until he dies. And sisters are so quick to just run when it gets hard, but there's no reward in that. You don't get the long 30 plus years married by running and trying to be with the next man, thinking, oh yeah, well, that wasn't it. Let me try over here again. No, no. I mean, you gotta be able to have some resilience too. We're resilient people. Our foremothers, they endured lot, a
Mm,
lot. And you look. I'm sure our foremothers would love to just have some little marital afflictions. Because you gotta think, we gotta really go back to the days of old. Because we have it very much more easier than they had it back then. Because look, you don't get to just, oh, well, all I gotta do is just make sure that house, kids, take care. Da, da, da. Look, we gotta learn to be content with the portion that the Most High has given us,
mm,
and be glad and grateful that the Most High is dealing with you. Because that's a sign also that the Most High is dealing with you if you are going through marital afflictions.
mm,
You should be thinking like, dang, well, maybe we are doing something right because these afflictions are coming, this tribulation is coming, and we know that through much tribulation, get the kingdom of heaven. Most High willing, but you have to endure. That's the name of the game. Enduring, sticking it through. And our people, we got a bad, bad habit of just leaving when things get hard. You at a job getting tough. I'm quitting this, man. Where's the next job? I'm putting you
yep.
putting Indeeds on applications in on Indeed just because the boss said, "Look, you need to clean up," or whatever your job entails. Because you can get whatever.
Come, come. Mm, come. Beautiful points. Like you said, our foremothers went through a lot. Man, you gotta, child, our foremothers had the real marital afflictions, okay? Being taken away from their husbands, raped in front of their husbands, babies taken away from them. There's a show on Amazon called The Book of the Negroes. And me and my husband, we still haven't finished it yet, but it just really goes to show the Bible being played out, like Deuteronomy 28, like that, just a slave period of time. And there's a sister. If you ain't watched it, I'm about to spoil it. Sorry. Anyways, she was she was raised up She had the same slave master for like years, years, and he like had a like thing for her, and she couldn't stand him, bro. Like she was disgusted by that man. And when she basically was showing that she wasn't interested, he got mad and raped her. I guess to like put her in her place. That pissed me off, bro. But this is the stuff our people went through. Like this is real stuff. But he had raped her, and then I'm sorry if this is triggering for anybody. But um, after that, then uh, she had like was taking a liking to this brother, and the Edomite didn't like that. So then she ended up getting pregnant, and he already was being jealous. Like when she met her husband, he ended up splitting them apart. The brother didn't even live on the plantation, but he would like sneak over there or whatever. But he ended up doing something to like keep him away. Sister had the baby. This man's so wicked and jealous. He sold her baby. He sold her baby. Her and her husband were devastated. He sold their baby. Then to like put her on blast and humble her and embarrass her, so called humble her in front of everybody, he like pulled her by her hair, brought her in the midst of everybody, and cut all her hair off. So you gotta think like, man, these are the things our foremothers had to endure. They endured that fire for real. Getting your baby taken away, like, and not one time in the show did you see her say, "I can't do this no more. I'm done. I can't do this no more." Our people were strong, bruh. They were strong. Of course, it was some coons, some coons, some bug outs, but our people were strong.
Okay.
She not once said, "I'm done. I don't want to be married to you no more. I can't keep doing this. You the
No.
reason our daughter gone because you snuck over here. I got married to you."
Yeah.
None of that. None
No.
of that.
Our foremothers loved our men down.
Baby, they be ready to go to war by they men.
What about
Okay,
that?
don't play.
Okay. And that's how we gotta be though. We gotta be willing to go to war with ourselves and for our man. Period.
Mhm.
I mean, like it's like sisters forget why they even married him to begin with.
Mhm.
And it's like, and yeah, that was a good point. That was a good account you brought out.
Yeah, man. I need to finish that show. I might watch the episode. I might watch some tonight. But like, stuff like that's hard to watch, bro. That's why we ain't really finished that video. So I ain't really finished it. Me in my head, in my head watching that, my head ready to pop off at the screen.
Okay.
About ready to throw my phone. Let me see some madness.
Okay.
But
You gotta have a stomach for that type of stuff, man.
you really do.
And one quick point, if Judeo let me tell it. But last it was a lesson. It was a lesson my husband and some brothers were doing, and they were going over how it was for the Haitians, but really our people too. But they on them boats, bringing them to Haiti, even here in Americas, like it was worse than what they painted out to be. Like what they tell you in school. Oh yeah, slave boats. Da, da, da. No, like imagine being shackled, people on top of people, like no space. You got this little seat you got. That's it. It's no moving. It's no waking up, trying to lay down, get up, go to the bathroom, get up, go outside for some fresh air. No, you got women. They send in their own flour to be discreet. Women that were pregnant. And shoot, we be pregnant now and be uncomfortable. And you can lay down, you could walk
Man,
around, you can
imagine being
massage.
slow.
I'm telling you,
Imagine being
imagine
pregnant on a boat chained up and you ain't got no room. It's hot. Y'all
hot.
swell. Y'all ain't. Then when it came to like eating and stuff, and I didn't mean to cut you off, y'all. Not so like you go ahead and finish your point.
No, 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 go ahead.
And imagine and then in the show like they didn't eat food for real. They ate the scraps. They ate the nasty stuff. They
Right.
just tossed it in there. Here, niggas, go eat. And then all of y'all just trying to fend and get what you can.
Yep.
These are things our people endure, and like the sister said, I mean, I don't think even with the documents we may read and the article, the documents and the documentaries we may watch and things like that, I don't think we can ever really fathom how bad slavery was. Like how bad it really was. It's one of those things you just had to live it, and our people lived that, and that's why our foremothers are so strong. And man, we done lost our way. We done lost our way because we'd be ready to give up at the smallest afflictions. When you really think about it, it be small petty stuff. It be small petty stuff, bro. Like that man ain't abusing you. You know what I mean? And like we said earlier, if we're not talking about abuse, of course there is physical abuse. You need to go. You separate. But if that man ain't doing nothing to harm you, he's taking care of you. He's being a righteous, God fearing man. You know what I mean? And even if he isn't, what did Abigail do? She endured it.
Okay.
Even if your husband isn't, you know, he might be, um, for lack of better terms, a little mean. I'll say he might be a little mean. He don't pitch you enough, but he ain't the nicest man. She endured because Nabal wasn't nice. She ain't say, "Oh, I'm done with this nigga. I'm dipping out." So when you really sit back and think about it, a lot of these things, it really just it's really Satan, honestly, and it really be small, petty, stupid stuff. I'm just calling how it be small, petty, stupid stuff. And us women sometimes we be so freaking emotional. We be so emotional, and don't know how to control our emotions and our spirit. And we think a man is supposed to worship the ground we walk on. And sometimes when things don't go your way in your marriage, you ready to hit the door
Yep.
when we are their possession. You know what I mean? It's a hard pill to swallow at times. It is.
For sure. Yeah.
Because, boy, I tell you, I'd be like, man, no way.
Please. Good. Well, we're not saying that the thoughts aren't gonna come, because
Yeah,
baby,
because they do.
yeah,
I'm telling you, I'd be lying if I said I didn't have thoughts.
right.
I'd be lying. I've had thoughts, but I'd be having to repent and tell
Review.
and rebuke and get my spirit together.
Okay.
Because why would you, and especially women that are married, I mean, women that have children, why would you want to ruin your family?
Yeah, man, that's off.
Why would you want to tear your family apart over some small, silly stuff?
Okay. Something that's not even gonna matter when the sky crack.
Okay? He always got an attitude when he talked to me. So what? Pray for him.
Okay.
Pray for him.
And a lot of women, they leave to go chase that 20% that they might be missing from their husband.
Mm.
And that's it. You can't let that 20% of what your husband don't do. Oh, he's not like the social media husbands. He doesn't buy me every Amazon package that I want.
He
He
not like
doesn't.
my ex Ray from the world. Maybe I,
Right.
maybe I should have just ended up with Ray.
See that?
Maybe I should just go back with Ray.
Madness, bro. Oh, he doesn't sweet talk me and send me good morning text anymore, and he doesn't kiss me in front of people, and it be little stuff, bro. It be little stuff, and you can't chase that 20%, bro. This man, he providing, he trying to lead you in righteousness. He's striving to be a better man each and every day, but you ready to leave off the 20%? Just
And that
bump
was
it.
an Instagram post, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yep.
You'd rather have a man that gives you 80%. Actually, I think we need to find it and pull it up.
I'm gonna try to find it.
Okay,
Wait.
fine. The water
Okay.
so much. The water so much. Something I've especially learned. Um, like, man, I don't know what it is, bro, but I feel like when you're married, you see your husband in like a glass mirror, meaning like you see every flaw, and if you don't just, I seen an Instagram post and it said if the Most High shows you that something is wrong with somebody, pray for them. And that hit me because sometimes I feel like I notice things about my husband and I just be ready to just tell him everything I notice instead of just praying for him. You know what I mean? Because we all have things that we need to work on. And I feel like in marriage, like you are going to see your husband's flaws times 10. He's going to see yours times 10. But marriage is choosing to still show up and love one another regardless of the flaws, praying for one another, and knowing that y'all both are gonna come up short, but to you know give your best foot forward in any chance you can. I mean, however, give your best foot forward each day. Um, Bakan, I wanted to get this precept real quick. Something I've also learned in marriage is like I'm still learning. I feel like I just my head is too big and I can't. It's not wrapping around my head how I should. But kind of sister, none of us perfect. We're striving to be kind exactly. Um, and I feel like something that I've learned in marriage, especially, is really just to let the Most High be my peace. Let the Most High be your peace, because if you harp on every flaw of your husband, every small disagreement, every small thing, you're not gonna have peace. You're literally gonna walk around hating your husband, like actually. And it takes so much energy. My husband even told me that it takes so much energy being mad. It takes energy out of you because that's a spirit. You wasting good energy, walking around mad. It takes energy to walk around mad with attitude. Like, bruh, come on, don't nobody want to deal with that. But let me read these precepts real quick because these precepts are even cutting me up because, child. All right, Luke 22:31. Did you want to read them, y'all? Or did you have anything you want to say real quick?
Con, I can bring it out.
Okay. Oh, my screen I shared. Like it. Excuse me.
I'm trying to find it. I know it's by the woman Katie Rose. That video you're
It's
talking.
on there tonight. What's the podcast called? Tonight's podcast, something like that. It's on their podcast page on Instagram.
Okay.
I be loving when she talk. I told her I had got the free trial on the app because you got to pay to listen to the episodes. Nobody's doing that. So I did like a week free trial and listened to some episodes as many as I can. But they episodes be real good. Like it really kind of be eye opening. They make you think about some stuff. Of course, shooting me about the bones, but they be talking about some real stuff on there.
Mm-hmm.
Make you think. Anyways.
Con, Luke 22:31. And the Lord said, Simon, Simon, behold, Satan hath desired to have you, that he may sift you as wheat. But I have prayed for thee, that thy faith fail not. And when thou art converted, strengthen thy brethren.
So ultimately, at the end of the day, this is Satan desiring to sift us as wheat. We cannot be ignorant of his devices. When you and your husband are constantly into it about small stuff, y'all got to come together. Remember that. I remember one time my husband told me, "You're not my enemy, babe," because we were into it this one night, and we was gonna go to sleep into it, and that wasn't right. But before he went to sleep and I went to sleep, we kind of talked and we was like, we're not the enemy. You and your husband are not enemies.
Right.
Y'all are a team. Y'all are one flesh. So y'all have to come together and fight those spirits together. Come together. Talk about the issues. Be adults. Talk about the hard stuff. Talk about whatever is got this elephant in the room. Sit down, talk about it when the time is right, of course, and fight those spirits head on together because y'all are a team. Y'all are not the enemy. And you got to remember, and especially I have to remember too, your kids are watching. They may not understand what's going on, but they're watching y'all walk around the house with cold shoulders, rolling eyes at each other, not talking to each other, ignoring, slamming stuff. Your kids are picking up on that energy. And I have seen Instagram posts again. Instagram be coming with the juice, okay? All praise. But
Okay.
I had an Instagram post the other day, and it said, "Your kids either want a marriage like yours or not want a marriage like yours." So, what example are you setting for your child? Because again, they may not fully understand, but they're picking up on the behaviors that y'all are doing, and so you want to make sure that you're being that righteous example for your children. You know, especially as a mother. So, can you read this verse 7 and through 9? This is Mark 10 and 7 through 9. Biblical Shah.
Con. And before I read it, I found it, guys.
Okay, okay.
Appraisal side. Okay, this is Mark 10 and start at 6,
7.
7. Okay.
You start
But
at 6.
6. But from the beginning of the creation, God made them male and female. For this cause shall a man leave his father and mother and cleave to his wife, and they twain shall be one flesh. So then they are no more twain, but one flesh. What therefore God hath joined together, let not man put asunder. It's gone.
On. So ultimately, at the end of the day, you and your husband are brought together as one flesh. Again, when y'all consummated and made that covenant before the Lord, you cannot just up and leave. Y'all are one flesh. Y'all locked in.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all are locked in. Don't let these spirits put y'all asunder, man. Don't let these spirits put y'all asunder. Let's go to Sirach 25:1. Don't let Satan and other people, ultimate spirits, Satan, don't let those spirits put you and your husband apart. Can you read this, please? Sirach 25:1.
Come. In three things I was beautified and stood up beautiful both before God and men: the unity of brethren, the love of neighbors, a man and a wife that agree together.
God, so he said the in three things he was beautified: a man and a wife that agree together, a husband and a wife that agrees together, that are not at odds, that are not always fighting. That is very beautiful. Agree together in the spirit. Agree with your husband. Be his partner. Be his pillar of rest. Don't be his enemy. Okay? Don't be his enemy. Marriage is very beautiful. And if you have been blessed with a husband, that's a gift from the Most High. Don't throw that away. That is so precious. Don't throw
Mhm.
that away over small stuff. You gotta let that little girl in you go. You gotta let that old worldly woman go and die. This is not the world anymore. And that's why, like we said at the beginning of the video, we see a lot of sisters unfortunately fall by marriage. Like literally, they were once married and they either don't believe they're married no more.
Yeah.
Oh, because he wasn't doing what he was supposed to do, and I don't think sex is marriage. Even though y'all laid down and consummated, you're not married no
Or, or God wouldn't want me to be. That's not what God has for me.
more. Right.
He wouldn't want me to be in that situation, so it
Exactly.
can't be.
It can't be of God. Well, you should have thought about that before you laid down with a wicked man. I mean, and that's what we're talking about at the beginning of the video. Sometimes, women come into marriage thinking it's all peaches and creams, and they get with the wrong brother. Well, you should have thought about that.
Yeah, man. We gotta
You,
start. This is why. This is why a whole bunch of men they get on the women and say that we have no accountability, and they're not wrong. It's not. They're not wrong. Because granted, you might be with a man that's wicked. You might be with a guy who is not righteous. He's not. He's not doing right. Whatever the case may be. But you still pick this man. Nobody put a gun to your head and said, "Be with this man."
yeah,
Nobody. We gotta be accountable for our actions. Everything. A lot of women they feel like things are happening to me. I'm just the victim mentality.
yeah. And again, we're not talking about abuse.
Yes, not talking about abuse.
Physical, emotional, spiritual, mental abuse. We're not talking about that. There are some situations that are granted for separation. We're talking about women that leave their husbands, fall out the truth, say they're not married anymore over small. stuff.
Yes.
And even not over small stuff, you still can't leave your husband, you know what I mean, for something that is not warranted to leave.
Right.
You got to be willing to endure because, like she said, you chose that man.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? And it's like,
You gotta accept accountability for them actions. Putting that work. Okay, yes, you made this decision. It didn't turn out to be what you wanted it to be. Okay, now you put in the work to pray, to fast for your husband, fast for your marriage. If you gotta take time away, okay, but it's unto reconciliation.
what's wrong?
And if y'all can't get on good terms, that don't mean that you go and be with another man.
Exactly.
That's not no, because a lot of sisters you know, they might be like, okay, well, I'll just separate, and then we used to being alone for a while, and you're like, well, dang, I don't want to be back reconciled with this man, but I don't want to be alone forever. Would God really want me to be alone forever? Would He really want me to not experience
And
love?
we've heard that. Like, this not a joke. Somebody
No.
has actually said that to us.
Yep.
This is not a joke.
This is real life. This is real
Bro.
life. Real life experiences that we witnessed. Like, it's not like Satan really be having your mind going, and just like the sister was saying, he'll make it be your thoughts. You gonna be thinking of Satan. You be thinking, dang, well, I really do love, and I have so much love to give, and
You
that
come up
person
with
didn't
every
treat me right.
logical.
You said what?
I said you will be coming up with every logical reason on why leaving your husband is right when God said it's not.
Okay, and it's just like we this is why we gotta go into our part two. Y'all gotta watch this part two. If you're a sister watching this, you gotta watch part two because after this, it's gonna line up so clean.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna line up so clean. So stay tuned. But
I
let me get
forgot to
this
start this
Hebrews.
part one. Dang. Let me do that
Dang.
real quick. Add part one. Part one.
Yes, yes, yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Con. I'm gonna get that Hebrews 13 for you, and then I'm gonna
Dang, I can't edit it. It's okay. I'll edit it when we're done.
okay, Con.
The water, the water.
Um, and then after this, I'm gonna get the video we were talking about earlier.
Okay, come on.
Hebrews 13 and 4. Marriage is honorable in all, and the bed undefiled, but whoremongers and adulterers God will judge.
Huh.
So you,
Oh, go ahead.
oh,
No, no,
sorry.
no. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was gonna say marriage is honorable. So if Satan is in your mind telling you that it's anything but that, you gotta rebuke and cast that thing far away from you. Far
Mm-hmm.
away from you. Because the most high he even has, similitudes in the Bible about marriage. The most high loves marriage. It's an honorable thing. And just imagine, you gotta really put in perspective, we're married unto Yahweh Shai. How would you look if you're so quick to leave your husband, but how about Yahweh never left us?
Mm.
And we go off each and every day,
Mm.
knowingly and unknowingly. How does that look? Aren't we supposed to be like Christ? And unknowingly. Aren't we supposed to, you know, be a reflection of Yahweh Shai? But you're quick to leave your husband. Didn't the Lord say, how can you love me but not love your brother who's right there? You can see your husband right there.
Mm-hmm.
But you can't love him. But you say you love the Most High. You gotta make it make sense. But you can't, because it don't make sense. So con. And the second part of the verse, whoremongers and adulterers God will judge. You can't think that just because you deserve love and a second chance and this and that, it didn't work out, but you still deserve, look, you will get judged. Point blank period.
The Lord don't care about none of that. The Lord don't care about none of how you felt. Well, I feel like I feel like I deserve love, and I feel like um God would not want this for me, so I'm just gonna go get me another husband because I'm supposed to be married, right? I'm gonna go find me a husband that will do right by me. I was literally thinking this the other day. Literally, I was like, man, folks, I literally was saying in my head and to myself, I be talking to myself sometimes. No, I'm not crazy. But I was saying like, man, folks be living out here like they ain't a God in heaven watching everything. Y'all scare me. Y'all different. People be out here living like there's not a God in heaven that see everything.
Yep.
Like the Lord sees you. He's going to get up with you.
And that judgment swift, boy.
Just because it don't come immediately, don't think it ain't gonna come. Cause the Lord, man, this Ecclesiastes 8 and 11, because sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily, therefore the heart of the sons of man is fully set in them to do evil. Well, I mean, God, he like people think God will understand when the Lord ain't gave nobody license to sin. How the Lord gonna understand you leaving your husband and going get another man? Where is that to understand?
Madness, man.
Let me get this Sirach 5 and 5. Because the Lord ain't told nobody to sin. He ain't gave nobody license to sin. Don't blame the Lord. Don't
Okay.
say the Lord to understand. No, he won't.
Don't speak for him.
Okay. Okay. Don't. She said don't
Okay.
speak for real though. It's Sirach 5 and 4. Say not have sinned, and what harm happened unto me. For the Lord is long suffering. He will no wise let thee go. He will in no wise let thee go. Well, yeah, I got another husband. What that I shouldn't go to hell for that. God should understand. The most high should understand. He wasn't doing right by me. That isn't of God. How does God want me to stay in a marriage where he's not being a good husband? I can go get another husband. I can go back to my ex. Concerning perpetuation, be not without fear to ascend into sin, and say not his mercy is great. He will be pacified for the multitude of my sins. For mercy and wrath come from him, and his indignation rests upon sinners. Don't say his mercy is great. Well, he's merciful. He'll understand why I had to do this. He's merciful. Don't say his mercy is great. Don't be adding sin unto sin and turn around saying, well, God will understand he's merciful. I had to do what I had to do.
Okay.
Because that's craziness. Let me get this in Sirach 17. This Sirach 17, and I don't know if it's in 17 or he have given no man license to sin. Okay, so like it maybe it's in 19. Um, no, okay. Hold on, y'all. So like I'm trying to find this precept. Okay, kind. This Sirach 15 and 20. He hath commanded no man to do wickedly, neither have he given any man license to sin. The Most High ain't gave nobody license to sin. And he ain't told nobody to do wickedly. Don't confuse the Most High. That's what that post said. Don't be over here letting Satan trick you with a lie using your own voice. You think that's the of the Lord, and it's pure deceitful.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't nothing godly about that.
Okay.
In no way, shape, or form.
At all.
Let me get this real quick, then you can get that video.
Fine.
2 Corinthians 2 and 11. Let Satan should get an advantage for us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. Don't be ignorant of Satan's devices. You and your husband not talking for 3 days. Satan. And I also will say another good point. You can't always blame Satan, though.
Mm-hmm.
I said this in my lesson last week, the part one about why you should be studying and reading like the spiritual negligence. Sometimes it don't be the devil, it be the devil in you. So sometimes you need to check your spirit and check yourself. Examine your fruits because they might be a little rotten and stink. Examine your fruits, examine your behavior. You know, so yeah, it's spirits working, but the spirit on you.
Mm-hmm.
So don't be quick to say, man, they say, nah, that's you, because you acting like a demon. You acting crazy. You all out of order being rebellious. That's you. Get your spirit together. Dang, bro, what you in there doing? What the fuck?
Causing havoc.
Okay.
I wanted
But
to. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
go ahead, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. I'll go
I was
after
gonna
you.
say, ultimately, we do know everything's spiritual, and these are spirits at work. But you got to know how to control yourself in marriage. Like you asking a silly question or provoking or saying something crazy. Now you're arguing. Don't let what does scripture say? Give not place to the devil.
Mm-hmm.
You give room to Satan with little stuff. It says, um, is it in First Thessalonians 5? Or is it in Ephesians 4? Hold on. So like I thought it was this chapter. So like it. Ephesians 4:27. Neither give place to the devil. You give place to the devil every time you say every time it's just something silly. Your husband, I'll give you an example. Your husband tell you to do something, he say something, and your response, "No, no, 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 no." Whatever you said, neck rolling, you just gave place to the devil. That wasn't even cause for it.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't open the door to the spirit. That wasn't even cause for it. You could have just been like, okay, kept it quiet, kept pushing. So you got to know how to control your spirit and control your mouth before you say something. You were thinking it. Control your thoughts. Be mindful of the things that you say. Don't just say whatever comes to mind. You have to be able to control your spirit. But we'll hold on that and let y'all not pull up this video. Go ahead, y'all not. What you say?
Time. I was gonna pull this really quick. Sirach, and I'm pull it, pull it for real, y'all. Sirach 3:24. For many are deceived by their own vain opinion, and an evil suspicion hath overthrown their judgment. So, look, you being deceived by your own vain opinion, you gonna be overthrown, bro. You gonna be overthrown. The most I did not put that in your spirit to go leave your husband and be with somebody else.
Right. It's
Just like the
foolish.
sister fool. He didn't give us a license to sin. So if you having those thoughts, this is a good reason too why you gotta study, show that self approved. Because if you in your Bible and you reading it, you know better than the Christian church. Because they read the Bible too. And they still decide to do what they want to do. And you just it's so many sins you racking up just then. You being a hypocrite. Because you saying you living by the word, you keeping the laws, this and that, but you're breaking it simultaneously. Boom, hypocrite. Boom, now you're an adulterer. Adulteress. You done left your husband when he wasn't dead and being with somebody else. And then boom, you got blood on your hands because you done made this other brother, whether you deceived him or whether he knew that you were married, you being with him. You got blood because now he going off. You threw that stumbling block in front of him.
Mm-hmm.
That's three sins right there. We can go all day. It's a domino effect. But again, the Most High, He's a deceiver, and the deceived is His. So that was definitely my what sister brought out. You gotta check them spirits that hopping on you, bro. Don't let them get to you and have you going off and end up destroyed because you were feeding to the lust of the flesh. But I'm gonna share my screen.
And also, a lot of times, why You can share your screen over there.
I think so. Can you see it?
Yeah, okay, let me share mine then. A lot of time, Brielle, chill out, bro. The girl in there redecorating the freaking living room. But what's I gonna say? Dang. Dang, I was gonna say something. Oh, a lot of times why sisters also fall because of marriages because they don't want to deal with the afflictions. They
Mm,
don't want to do it. They don't want to continue to deal with the problems. And I know because like you said earlier, you're gonna have thoughts. I be having thoughts. And I can't keep doing this, bro. I can't do this. I can't keep doing this. And if you don't rebuke those thoughts and repent and tell Satan to get thee behind you and
mm,
pray and fast over your marriage, over your spirit, hey, them thoughts will become how you start to actually move.
yep.
They don't actually want to endure. You have to want to endure. You have to want your marriage to overcome. You have to want to get this kingdom. Sisters don't be wanting that. They be like, bro, I'm not finna keep putting up this man and his BS from his folks. I ain't finna keep doing this. I ain't signed up for this. I signed up for peace. And I've been catching hell since I got here. I
Yeah.
ain't finna keep doing this. So con. I just thought about that.
Come.
Do you think
Uh oh.
having 80% of what you need?
Yes. Okay, pause real quick. Educational purposes only. Fair use YouTube. Fair use.
Con. Fair use. Hopefully it's not like extremely loud, but I want y'all to hear it.
It's okay. Turn it up,
Is
please.
enough in a
I like my
relationship.
stuff on
Man,
100.
we got to start doing math. Hold on.
Let's frame it this way. We're speaking to, you know how some people will leave a relationship or be tempted to chase that 20% of what they're not getting from their partner.
Oh, okay, good. Do I have permission to come from a
Yeah, go
different
ahead. Go
standpoint?
ahead. Yeah.
You're so
I don't
great.
know if you're a believer, but I'm a believer. And I fully understand that God gives us somebody who is not going to meet every single condition that we have. He gives us a person who is not going to meet every need that we have. And it teaches us how to love unconditionally. It also teaches us to work and be more patient and be more understanding, but it also teaches us how to die to ourselves as well, die to our unforgiveness, die to our pride. So it's important for you to be rooted in Christ, for one, because that's where you're going to get everything from. You're going to get that unconditional love, and you're going to get Christ who can meet every single one of your conditions. But if you start leaning and looking over the fence for that 20%, it's going to hurt you later on in the long run, because you had somebody who God put in your life for a reason to teach you something, and you wanted to run away from the lesson. But that's a biblical standpoint.
How funny is it to be complaining to your partner about the 20% they're not giving you, and you only giving them 50? You only giving them 40. How egotistical do you have to believe that you are 100% satisfying them as well?
Come on.
We both are humans. We both have flaws. We both fall short. And that's the point of that commitment. It is loving the wholeness of a person.
And I think if we look at it from a mathematical perspective, right, if the 100% is supposed to be perfection, can I not take a lack of 20% if I know that I can't give perfection, nor can I expect perfection from my person? That's one thing. I think another thing is where people mess up at is where they distribute the 20 and the 80. If you don't know yourself, you don't know your values, you don't know what's important to you, you don't know what your non-negotiables are, you mess around and put something that needed to be in your 80 and your 20. And then that's what'll draw you away. That's what'll make you feel like I'm missing something that's extremely important, because if you had done some of the work, the evaluating beforehand, you would have understood what all really needs to be in that 80. And your compromisables, that's what's supposed to be in your 20s. The things that you can really go without, the things that might get on your nerves, the things also that you can change. I spoke on that earlier. Clothes, superficial things, hair, all of that stuff changes. But when we talk about what's supposed to be in that 80, that character is supposed to be in that 80. You know, that humor, that likability that we spoke about in the earlier podcast, that's what's supposed to be in that 80. And if you make sure that your 80-20 is distributed properly before you step foot into that commitment, you're going to be just fine.
I'm telling you, they episodes be heat. They set a mouthful right there. Shalawam. Yeah, they set a mouthful right there. That was
They
good.
snap.
Yeah. Yeah, this is making me think because I'm gonna just leave that there.
They spent a lot of that was a lot to dissect.
I'm telling y'all, that conversations be good.
Mm-hmm.
I had did the free trial on that app for like a week because I'm not paying for no episodes. But best believe when I get a little bankroll on me, I'm subscribing.
Okay, look, it said a lot right there. Like that's why it's so important. We stress this all the time. If you're a single sister, look, exactly what they said. You need to know what your non-negotiables are. You need to know what you can and cannot deal with. Because again, that accountability, you gotta have accountability
Right, because
for the
once
men
you
that you choose.
exactly because
It's
sorry.
no. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, finish.
No, you go.
Finish your point.
But kind, you gotta know exactly what you can and can't deal with because if you mess around, you don't take the time to work on yourself
Who's barking my dart again?
as a single sister. You don't take the time to prove this man, know his character, know if he's truly fearing the Most High, knowing everything that you need to know, asking the hard questions. You're gonna be caught out there. You're gonna be caught out there, and nobody's gonna feel bad after a while because it's like, look, this is the man that you chose. You disregarded all the red flags. True, we all go through marital afflictions, but it's about who you choose. It's about who you choose. And you can't be so quick to leave once you figure out that dang, I chose 20% over 80. No. And the most like he's gonna judge accordingly. Everything that we do in these bodies is going to be put on the front line. We will have to answer for everything that we do in this life. But hey sisters might have to watch that again. Cause that's it's a lot right there. And a lot of times Satan he'll try to blind you from all the good that your husband is doing. And have you hyper focused on that 20% thing. Well, he's dirty. I didn't think he was gonna be this nasty. He might leave pee on the floor or whatever when he uses the bathroom or he doesn't do any laundry or whatever folks be saying. He leaves the socks everywhere. Oh, look, he's not as sweet and romantic and all these other things that are like I thought he was gonna be. But yet in the 80%, he takes care of y'all's family, maybe by himself, maybe alongside with you. He's in his Bible, he's doing lessons, he's trying to feed the sheep. You gotta count the cost. You gotta count the cost in this thing. And let me see. I'm gonna get Con. Con, what the sister said. People can change, but the non-negotiables, you have to know what's a deal breaker or what they can actually change. Con. Exactly. And that goes to the proving process. You gotta know what you can actually work with. Like, for example, oh, he doesn't read as much as I would like him to, or whatever the case may be. Like, well, I can work with that. He's only reading 3 chapters, a day. We can work on that. I can encourage him to, read more. We can read together as a family, whatever the case may be. That's a non-negotiable. Oh my gosh, Jay, are you serious? Yo, we're gone. Let me get this preset. So yeah. Okay, Proverbs 21 and 1. Oh, wait. She's not. She got to share my screen, but it's okay. It's okay. I'll just read it for y'all. What will I? Proverbs 21 and 1. Oh my gosh. Con. This is Proverbs 21 and 1. The king's heart is in the hand of the Lord, as the rivers of water. He turneth it whithersoever he will. So it's up to the Most High at the end of the day. If the Most High is going to put it on your husband's spirit to change his ways, or if he's going to still be in so-called wicked or whatever the case may be, however he's acting, it's up to the Most High at the end of the day. So, sometimes we got to stop trying to fight our battles verbally. You repeating the same thing over and over again to this man. You begging, you crying, you doing all that to this man when he's man. You gotta go to the Most High. And Sister Lily, we were on the call, on the sister's call, and she brought this out, and I thought it was just chef's kiss. She said, look, she be going to the Most High about her husband. And that's what we really got to do. The Most High is the only one that can change anybody's spirit, make anybody do right. That's all the Most High. Sometimes we give men too much credit. We give men too much credit. We put too much into men when they're just men. When they have their flaws, they're not perfect. Striving to be perfect, but not perfect. Still going off, still in this flesh, subject to sin. So you got to go to the Most High about your husband. Tell on him if you have to. Look, Lord, I'm tired. I've been trying to endure. You got to really cast those burdens to the Most High. You got to cast those burdens to the Most High, because he's the one who can change your situation or keep you in that situation. It's all up to him. So how much more are you doing right, making sure you're doing right as a wife, so that the Most High can have that spirit intercede on your behalf. This is Psalms 55 and 22. Cast thy burden upon the Lord, and he shall sustain thee. He shall never suffer the righteous to be moved. So you gotta cast that burden onto Yahweh Shai, and he'll sustain you. He'll help you get through your marriage. He'll help you endure through your marriage, but you have to cast your burden onto him. And that's not like a one and done type of thing. You gotta constantly do it. Constantly plead to the Lord. Always. And just like we was reading about Abigail, I don't think we brought it out, but Abigail and the ball. So I'll bring it out really quick. She didn't just up and leave her husband, bro. She didn't just, well, you didn't want to listen to what David had to say? This man wicked. I'm out of here. I'm on the first flight out of here. The first donkey out of here. Whatever. But I'm going to go 1 Samuel 25. I'm going to get verse. I'm going to just get verse 10 for a little context. Verse 9. And when David's young men came, they spake to Nabal according to all those words in the name of David, and ceased. And Nabal answered David's servants and said, Who is David? And who is the son of Jesse? There be many servants nowadays that break away every man from his master. Shall I then take my bread and my water and my flesh that I have killed for my shearers and give it unto men whom I know not whence they be? So he's like, who are these people? I'm trying to give my stuff to them. Anyway, reading on. Verse 12. So David's young men turned their way and went again and came and told him all those sayings. And then, yeah, I'm gonna keep going. Verse 13. And David said unto his men, gird ye on every man his sword. And they girded on every man his sword. And David also girded on his sword. And there went up after David about 400 men, and 200 abode by the stuff. But one of the young men told Abigail, Nabal's wife, saying, behold, David sent messengers out of the wilderness to salute our master, and he railed on them. But the men were very good unto us, and we were not hurt, neither missed we anything as long as we were conversant with them when we were in the fields. And then I'm going to skip down. Verse 17. Now therefore know and consider what thou wilt do, for evil is determined against our master and against all his household, for he is such a son of Belial that a man cannot speak to him. Then Abigail made haste and took 200 loaves and 2 bottles of wine and 5 sheep ready dressed and 5 measures of parched corn and 100 clusters of raisins and 200 cakes of figs, and laid them on asses. And she said unto her servants, go on before me. Behold, I come after you. But she told not her husband Nabal. So I bring this out to say you don't have to. Also, a lot of women, the Most High gonna kill you. You so wicked to me. Oh, you did. Look, I'm gonna rebuke you. I'm sending curses up on you. I mean, just completely going off. You don't have to do all that. You don't have to go back and forth. You don't have to pick fights. You don't have to name call, belittle. You don't have to do all that. You can just take it up to the Most High. They got a thing in, the workplace. Say you got a issue at work. One of your coworkers, they doing something off, against regulations, policy, whatever. You take it up to your supervisor. Okay, they not doing nothing about it. Okay, you take it up. I'm gonna go to the store manager. Store manager not doing nothing. Okay, I'm taking it to corporate. The Most High is corporate in this situation. Sometimes you gotta go up the chain of command. Look, okay, brought it to my husband. He not doing, whatever. Okay, now I'm taking it to you. How about Shemir Shai? That's what you gotta do. You don't always have to tell your husband, oh, this. Like, no. Going to the Most High. So, I bring that out to say, we gotta not be so quick to beg and plead and all that, but I yield.
All personal time. The water for holding it down. I had to change Bill's diaper, and I'm a cloth diaper mama now, so it's a whole process. Had to clean it off. It was a poop diaper, so I'm back. But you were touching on some really good points. A lot of what I was going to let me back off of, I was actually about to go into next. Like you said, through the spirit, you gotta go to the Most High, man. Um, and I also wanted to pique interest on how do sisters know what their non-negotiables are, because a lot of us get married young. We don't know nothing about marriage for real. We don't know nothing about the things that we would non-negotiably, the things that are non-negotiables. I know I was um I was 18. Was I 18?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was 18 when I got married to my husband, and I'm 22 now. I, hell, I was just coming out the world still. I I came. What's funny, bro?
This is the way you said it.
I was 17 when I found out about the truth. I was in my senior year of high school. Dang, that sounds like anyway, my senior year of high school, and that was I was a baby, bro. Like I didn't know nothing about nothing. Like looking back at my camera roll, I was trying to figure it out. You know, I'm still a baby. I'm 22. I
Yeah.
don't I don't really, the only knowledge and wisdom that I have through the spirits, the things that the Most High has given me through His Word and from other experiences of people that I know. But I ain't been married 20 plus years, 15 plus years, like a lot of these elders, like my parents. They've been together since they 18. My mama 53, my dad 52. They've been together 2 decades,
Mm-hmm.
right? The decade is two, yeah,
Yeah.
or more. So it's like, hell, I'm excuse my language. I'm trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
So it's like I didn't know what my non-negotiable was, and a lot of us probably didn't and don't, or now we probably do. But you know, a person must have a growth. But that's why I don't know, man. I just think you just really gotta pray and ask the Most High to direct your steps because it was a blessing that I ended up with a good man. Let me just say that it's a blessing. It's a blessing. It's a miracle for
Yeah.
real because at 17 and 18, I didn't know, like, of course, the Most High was able to protect us, protect me from anything. And He definitely did. It was a few red flags from a few different people. And I'm glad I dodged them.
Okay.
Okay. But everybody's not that. Everybody, that's not always everybody's lot. So I guess to say that to say, how do sisters know the non negotiables? I don't think I would have known no non negotiable because I'm still a baby trying to figure out myself.
Right.
I'm I'm still in high school,
Okay.
and so it's like now 22. Oh, I got some non-negotiables.
Okay.
Goddamn it.
You learn very quick.
Okay.
Okay. And
Um,
it's like it.
I was just gonna say, I think ultimately, I think being so young, I think a lot of us get married young. I don't know how the young sisters was when they got married, but I know you was 18, 19.
I was 19 when I got married. Young.
So kind. So it's like, how old are you now?
22.
I don't even know her own age. That's wild. Crazy.
I'll be 20. I'll be 23 soon.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, you.
Yeah.
Okay. Jordan here. No problem. But and so I think ultimately it's really just praying at the most high direct your steps, to be honest. Like praying and fasting for a sincere, righteous husband. And that's what I did. I prayed for a righteous, sincere husband. And I
Yeah.
think I'm not gonna say if I fasted or not because I cannot remember, but I know for sure I prayed about it. I prayed for a righteous, sincere husband.
Yeah.
And I think I was trying to be sincere myself and righteous myself, and the most I saw that. And so, like
Mhm.
the scripture said, a wicked woman is given unto a wicked man.
Yeah.
And so, even if you don't know what your non-negotiables are, or if you don't, really, if you're still trying to find yourself, you're still young, just take your time.
Yeah.
Take your time. Like, really take your time.
There's
Don't,
no rush.
it really isn't. Don't be, I'm going to tell y'all a real story. Don't be so rushed don't be so in a rush to get married. I'm going to tell you a real story that happened to me, just real life. I was fairly new in the truth. Like, at this was February 2020. This is February 20. I don't even know. 2020. I graduated May 2021. So it had to been
2020.
2020. Hold on, bruh. It was
One of them years.
okay, yeah. 2021, 2020, 2022. I don't know. But I was very, very new in the truth. No, it was around winter time. The thing was before I graduated. Yes. So it was 2021.
2021.
Yeah, 2021. I think. Anyways. Anyways, there was this brother, and this is a real story. I hadn't been I was very, very new to the truth, like less than 3 months. And he was trying to get me married. Like actually. Like he asked me did I want to be his wife. I'm not joking. I didn't know nothing about this man. I really didn't know much about myself. Like I'm still in high school, still living with my parents, still have my own bedroom in their house. It's still a baby, bro. Like trying to figure life out. I'm still very much a baby. I'm still very much a kid. So I'm trying to figure it out. And like, I was like, what? Mayo, be a wife? Like, I don't even know you. And so, like, imagine if I would have been so, oh my gosh, yes, I would love to be your wife. Oh my gosh, I'm supposed to be married young. I'm supposed to be getting married young. Oh my gosh, this is like a dream come true. Yes, I will absolutely be your freaking wife. Oh my gosh, yes.
Sign me up.
Imagine if that would have happened. Like, and I would have got myself in a horrible situation.
That's
Horrible.
cool.
Because I didn't prove and didn't take my time. And I was so caught, I was so thrown when the brother asked me that because I hadn't even known him for a month. I don't think. He was asking me to be his wife and I could come up there and I'm like, absolutely not. No, we're not doing that. No, absolutely not. And that really was only the Lord. Looking back at it, that was the Lord protecting me. So don't feel like you have to be so quick to get married or you feel pressured by a brother. And unfortunately, I think I don't want to say that. I don't even want to say that, but well, I'm just call it how it is. I think sometimes brothers might see women that are young, knowing the truth, and take a liking to them because that's somebody they can easily
Grow.
manipulate a trick. Just being real because they're wolves in sheep clothing.
Yeah.
And you have to be able to perceive and have discernment and wisdom like, no, I'm okay. You don't have to feel pressure to force into doing anything.
Okay.
Take your time, vet these men, and take your time because once you make that vow and once you make that covenant with the Most High with your husband, you cannot undo that.
Rats.
You cannot undo that. You cannot be quick to dip. You just can't. You gotta be willing to endure and stand in that pain. Period. Point blank.
Come on.
I just want to share it real quick because that was actually something that happened to me, and I was just creeped out because I also had noticed some other red flags with that brother, and I was like, no,
Absolutely not. Come
mm-mm.
on.
But to your point, I'll make this real quick. To your point, you were saying a lot of good stuff about the Most High. He really is. He's the only one that can change your husband's heart. So I had typed in my notes, sometimes in your marriage, you will feel like you're not being heard, seen, understood, whatever the case may be, and it'll feel like Satan is pulling y'all apart. Satan wants division and strife. He would do anything to get it. And from what I've learned, don't, like we said earlier, don't give into what Satan wants. The cold shoulders, eye rolling, keeping it short, the attitudes, that stuff is draining. And it's not fun because my husband is like my best friend. Like, we like to laugh and talk together. And when we're not, it's just like, bro. But it's like, that's no fun, bro. Like, it's no fun. And then y'all get back to y'all laughing self and y'all miss it. Anyways, be willing to talk it out at the right time. Let your husband know how you feel when the time is right. Most importantly, like that post said, when the Most High shows you something is wrong with somebody, that they're struggling in an area, pray for them. Pray for your husband, your marriage, and pray for yourself too. Because sometimes we're doing something that we may not realize, and other times the spirit might be attacking your husband and ultimately your marriage and your home. And your job is not to be down your husband's throat or force him to see your perspective. Only the Most High can change something. Sorry, she already got that precept, Proverbs 21:1. So I'll praise the Most High. This girl be cutting TV on and off, bro. She really just put on a whole TV show on Amazon Prime. I'm not even joking.
Advanced baby.
I'm not even joking. Sometimes and I also was reminded that we're not just helping me physically, but spiritually, because sometimes we will see things that our husbands do not. And it'll bug you so bad because I feel like that's been me a few times, seeing something and wanting my husband to see what I see. And sometimes I just want to just grab his head and be like, look. But it's not that simple. It's really not. If only it were. Boy, if only it were. When you think about it, it ultimately be the Most High trying your patience to see how long suffering you'll be. So continue to And again, when you see things that your husband don't, that might cause disagreements in your marriage because you are trying to voice your opinion. You want to be heard, but he's just not seeing it and ultimately not hearing you. And so you feel like how you feel is being put on the back burner. I felt this a lot. So give me understand. You may feel like how you feel is being put on the back burner because y'all are just butting heads and y'all are, having odds and not seeing eye to eye. Um, so we just got to continue to pray and let the Most High do the inner work on both of us at the end of the day, because only the Most High can change both of us. All you can do is do your part and really just have that inner peace and know that to accept the things that you can't change the things that you can, and the courage to know the difference. That's serenity prayer. Because we're not here to just shut up and never say anything. If your husband is struggling in the spirit, uplift him. Tell him if he's sinning. That's your job too, to be his help spiritually, to be his pillar of rest and his tower against death. So I want to get a few precepts real quick. Sirach 26 and 22. You ain't got to read them y'all now. You can go ahead and do what you got to do real quick. Sirach 26 and 22. A harlot shall be counted as spittle, but a married woman is a tower against death to her husband. It's like this girl done put on an actual TV show and watch. So kind of want to be that tower against death to our husbands, Let's go to Sirach 36 and 24. He that getteth a wife begetteth a possession, a help like unto himself, and a pillar of rest. So we want to be that pillar. This is a pillar. See how strong and sturdy that thing is? You look, when you look at a pillar, it's holding something on a building. Let me see. Pillar on building. Look at that. That pillar is keeping that building. That is what is holding the building up. The building is standing on that pillar. Look at that. The building is literally, that pillar is keeping it from falling. If those pillars were not there, if all those pillars were cut down, the whole top of that building would fall and crumble. So imagine being that to your husband. Imagine being that pillar and that strong tower against the troubles he faced in his world to your husband. Imagine how powerful that is. And then imagine how horrible it'll be when those pillars get chopped down and that building crumble, when you're not being that pillar against rest, when you're not being that strong tower when he's going through, when you're not being that praying wife, when you're not being that fasting wife, when you're not being the wife that has a good attitude and makes the house feel like a home, who when you're not being a loving, peaceable, agreeable woman, but you're being a dang lion, a dragon, a wicked woman with an attitude, walking around, nasty attitude, got something slick to say. Imagine how detrimental that'll be if you can see how, and when you see how powerful and strong a pillar is. Just as much good as it could do, as much harm it could do. Let me get this real quick. Because the sister broke that down real nice. I want to bring it up real quick. Okay. This sister sent this to me with other sisters. And I wanted to read it. It says, his peace and his protection. Oftentimes, as a wife, we are referred to or strive to be a pillar of rest, as we just read. So she said, when I think of that scripture, I think of a man leaning on or resting on a tall beam to catch a break from a hard day. Peace. We are called to be his peace. But not only that, we're called to be his protection, but not in the way that you may think. So let's go to, then she pulls Sirach 26 and 18. It says, as the golden pillars upon the sockets of silver, so are the fair feet with the constant heart. Fair feet, graceful, walks with elegance, a refined woman. I thought of a ballerina having fair feet, not physically, being dainty and light when she dances. Constant heart is a loyal, unwavering woman. Now, these pillars being referenced in the first part of the scripture is ironically the description of these pillars found in Exodus surrounding the tabernacle, which we all know is a holy place specifically designed as God's dwelling place among the Israelites. Here's a visual representation. Real. So let's pull up the. Yep, this a picture she used right here. We stand as a delicate but unwavering protection to the holy place. We are the first line of defense. We help protect his mind, his body, and spirit through prayer, fasting, and the way we speak and carry ourselves. We can make or break a man with words alone. We are the first thing he sees in the morning and the last thing he sees at night. We see him in a way only a wife can see a man. What would have happened if the pillars surrounding the tabernacle, the pillars on this building, were flimsy and weak and unsure if they wanted to do his job? It would leave the tabernacle vulnerable to outsiders and their spirits. How much more a wife to her husband? God, yeah, that was great heat. I mean, to make you want to slap the ground. That was pressure. When you just sit there and read that, that's straight heat. All praises. That's just got some wisdom on her neck. She knew who I'm talking about if she watched this. I'll praise the Most High. But Khan, imagine, see how strong these pillars are, bro. Look how they're keeping this building up. Imagine if these are flimsy and weak. So that's what we are to be to our husbands, period, point blank. And so if you and your husband are having a disagreement, or if y'all are not seeing eye to eye, stop trying to play God. This is Exodus 7:3. And I will harden Pharaoh's heart and multiply my signs, my wonders in the land of Egypt. So sometimes the Most High, just how the Most High hardened Pharaoh's heart, sometimes the Most High will harden your husband's heart, and he's going to be literally unable to see what you're seeing or to do anything because his heart is hardened. As many times Moses kept going to Pharaoh. How many times did Moses go to Pharaoh? He went to him, I think, 10 times because that was the 10 plagues, right? And at the 11th time, when he finally let us go, the death of the newborn, if I'm not mistaken.
I'm not sure. But it was a lot of times he went back.
Well, actually, I guess I referenced 10 in my head because of 10 plagues, but it probably was more than that. Anyways, Moses went to Pharaoh a lot. Imagine, like, he kept going to Pharaoh a lot about the same thing, and Pharaoh was not hearing it. So imagine you constantly going to your husband over and over about the same thing. He's just not hearing it. Let the Most High do the changing. Let the Most High, because eventually, the Most High got up with Pharaoh and put it on Pharaoh's spirit to let my people go. Like I said, yeah. So eventually, the Most High can soften your husband's heart to see where you're coming from. But one thing I've learned, and I'm still learning, is you cannot let what other people are doing change your character and who you are as a person. You know, I'm not going to lie. Sometimes when my husband is not hearing me or seeing where I'm coming from, sometimes I know this is not good, but I'm just being honest. Sometimes I handle conflict with anger, meaning I feel like, okay, I'll get my point across if I have an attitude. If I have an attitude and slam this door, maybe he'll see where I'm coming from then. And that actually does nothing. It actually makes it worse. Because then the man really never paying attention to what I'm saying. And so it's like, you cannot let, and I've had to check myself and repent. And just when I was just talking to the Most High one time, like, you cannot let the spirits and what somebody is or isn't doing change who you are as a person. And because ultimately we all have to stand before the Most High. We all have to answer. We all have to stand before the judgment seat of Christ. We all have to answer for everything we've done and said and body, good or bad, like the scripture say. So I can't keep catching attitude or getting upset and thinking that's gonna solve anything because my husband is not seeing where I'm coming from. And so it's like, because in the day, I'm gonna have to pay for my attitude. I'm gonna have to answer for my attitude and what I had said, mumbling under my breath and rolling my eye, all because of he didn't see where I was coming from. And so it's like, as frustrating as it is, trust me, as frustrating as it is to try to be want to try to talk things out, and it's not really being heard. You cannot play the Most High. Stop trying to be the Most High. Stop trying to fix something that's out of your control. You said your piece. Stop talking about it. If all it does is leads to arguments, um, give it time and only talk about it if it will be a profitable conversation. Always arguing is just open the door to more spirits. So give it to the Most High, let it go, and lay it at His feet. Protect the peace in your spirit in your marriage, and don't keep letting strife in. Believe that things will get better in your marriage. Pray for your marriage. Cry out to the Most High. Journal. Fast for your marriage. Do whatever you have to do through the spirit, and realize it isn't your husband, but actually a spirit on him. So fight those spirits the only way that we can, which is the word. Rebuke those spirits and command them to flee in the name of Yahweh Shema Shai, and ask the Most High to show you the spirits at work and pray against them. And also remember that our husbands have struggles too. We have to be long suffering. We can't be quick to separate just because there's troubles in the flesh. So I'm gonna get Philippians 4:6. Be careful for nothing, but in everything by prayer and supplication with thanksgiving, let your requests be made known unto Yahweh. So, Khan, you have to let your requests be made known unto the Most High God. Like the sister was saying, yep, Lily did say that. She said, "Girl, I be going to the Most High, my husband. Look, go snitch, go tell Abba. I'm telling, go snitch, okay." It's Galatians 5:22. But the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, long suffering, gentleness, goodness, faith, meekness, temperance. Against such there's no law. So, Khan, we have to be long suffering. And sometimes also seen this post on YouTube, and it had said, and it cut me up. I was like, oh goodness. It said, "Isn't this what you asked for? You prayed for patience, and now you're facing delays. You asked for love, and you're learning to stand strong on your own. You pray for discipline, and distractions keep coming your way. You pray for peace, so you're tested with chaos." And so it's like, this is what you asked for, right? You wanted to be married. You didn't think it was going to come with some tribulations. You prayed to be more patient, and now every time there's an issue, your husband doesn't know where you're coming from, and now you got to suffer long and still have that peace and love and joy regardless. Like that sister said, we have to learn how to love unconditionally, regardless if you see where you're coming from or not. You still show up for that man. You still be that pillow rest, and you still love him, and stop trying to be that man mama. Okay? Stop trying to play the Most High.
Okay.
You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. You cannot force anybody to see your perspective. Matthew 17:21, howbeit this kind goeth not out but by prayer and fasting. So throw them fast up. If you and your husband are going through troubles in the flesh, throw some fast up. I'm telling you, throw a fast up. Proverbs. I want to get Proverbs 18:21. Death and life are in the power of the tongue. They that love us eat the fruit thereof. So, death and life are in the power of the tongue. They're in the power of the tongue. Tell them spirits to flee. Command them in the name of Yahweh Shema Shai to flee. But did you have anything, y'all know you wanted to touch? Oh, goodness. Did you have anything you wanted to touch on?
Mighty points, man. Mighty points. I wanted to bring out two precepts just to lean back off of what you were going into. I'm gonna get Sirach 6:36 first. And it reads,
So, what was that?
Sirach 6:36. Just going based off of what you were saying about, about a lot of sisters that get married young. We got married young. So we're on here, telling y'all what we had to go through before we met our husbands. Because I had a similar situation. This brother, he turned out to be wicked. He was courting, he was pressuring, trying to get married. He was an older gentleman, but he was, doing the same thing.
She got a thing for them old cats, okay? Because her husband is very much an older gentleman.
Yes, my husband is 10 years I think they say 10 years my senior. But he, this brother, he was probably around the same age, if not a little bit younger, maybe, or older. I don't know. But I was getting ready to be an additional wife, and man, The sister, she tried to give them red flags, them warnings were warning, okay? And, all praise Most High, he didn't allow me to go that route. But, you know, for the younger sisters, that's why, like sister said, you gotta pray and fast on everything. You know, pray that the Most High doesn't give you over to a man that is not gonna do right by you. Because moral of the story is, I married my husband, and the brother that I was talking about, he fornicating all around the country. Young women, leaving them, beating them, all types of stuff. Wickedness. It's pure madness. And unfortunately, that's a lot of, unfortunately, our younger sisters. I'm sure it probably happens to older women too, but I say all this to say that, even if your elders aren't in the world, because I understand everybody doesn't have access to, elders that they can really talk to like that. But even if sisters have their parents, and your parents might be married, it might not be, you might have a grandma, whatever the case may be, ask them like, hey, like, you know, I see you've been married for decades and decades. What were some non-negotiables for you? What are some things that you just had to make sure that your husband had? What? Give me like a little peek into the married life. What to expect? And you never know. The most I could put the spirit on them to let you know some real stuff. Because marriage is marriage at the end of the day. And I'm gonna bring this precept out, Sirach 6:36. And if thou seest a man of understanding, get thee betimes unto him, and let thy foot wear the steps of his door. So if you see a man of understanding, you see, a sister in this truth, you might be, close with, she got some experience in marriage, you might be a single sister, wear the steps of her door. Be like, hey sis, I need the real on marriage. What do I need to, expect if I'm talking about, wanting to be a wife, being a mother, so on and so forth. Wear the steps of the door. Hey sis, what's going on? Let me pick your brain about this. Don't be shy about it, because this is gonna be your life at the end of the day. And it's so much better to learn from other people's mistakes. My mom always told me this. It's better to learn from other people's mistakes than to have to make your own mistakes and learn from them. You can avoid a lot of mistakes by learning from other people's mistakes. And that's just real. So wear the steps of the door, Hey, I'm trying to get next to this woman and write this.
Con. Yeah, man. Will you finish on that point so I can?
Con, I was. You can go ahead and I'll
Yeah,
after.
that's beautiful. Like she was saying, like we were saying, like when you're that young, especially still freshly new in the truth, coming out the world, your mind is not all the way there yet, like a renewed mind. Even in its true 4 or 5 years, your mind is still being renewed every day. You're still dying daily, and
Mm-hmm.
so I don't really think me, and this is me speaking as a woman, but you don't really have the wisdom to know, you know, certain like it really. I'm gonna just say it's really, really about a grace and mercy of the Most High because you have really sometimes you haven't had that experience or that wisdom to know what to and not to look out for. You know what I mean? Like what to look out for, what to avoid. And so, like she said, pray and fast. And I think with us praying, because me and y'all and I, we were friends around that time. The situation she just told you about, So it's like I think with us really trying to seek the Most High and praying, He was able to protect us from men that were not sincere. And so it's like you got to make sure that you connected with the Most High, that you're praying and fasting for a righteous man, righteous marriage, or righteous husband, so that way you don't find yourself in a crappy situation. You got to make sure that you're really seeking ye first the kingdom of God and His righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you, as the scripture says. With medium dark skin tone, pink heart, FaceTime like video. My daddy FaceTime me.
Pops.
So like yeah. Um,
And after your point, I wanted to get a precept and land back off of that.
so like yeah. But kind. So I think that really is it really just be I think especially at that age it really was the most high protecting us because I don't think I me speaking for myself, I don't think I had the wisdom and understanding to know like, oh, I need to stay away from this. Like it might have been real slim and just really just the most high putting it in your spirit, giving you that discernment and having mercy, like you need to stay away from this person. Because as you it's just like what this precept saying in Sirach 34, as you go throughout this world and you're gaining, and you go through let me just read this. Sirach 34:9, a man that have travailed with many things, and he that have much experience will declare wisdom. So at 17, 18, yeah, I've had some sort of experience in life, but I haven't had that much experience. Like I said, still living with my parents. Um, it's not to say because some people be my age, that age, and then went through hell and back. So I'm not, not saying that people don't experience real things, but I know for me personally, um, it was just really only the Most High that could really guide my steps and direct me onto a righteous man. I couldn't do it myself because I wasn't really knowing what to look for. You know what I mean? Still very young, still very, very new to the truth. So I'm just trying to figure it out. And especially like what we're saying, when when you're new to the truth, a lot of times, um, unfortunately, there are some brothers that try to take advantage of younger sisters and try to, play with them that they can see they can play with. That's why you have to make sure that you are founded and rooted upon the Most High yourself first and seeking Him first and foremost and really taking your time vetting. Bakan, go ahead, y'all.
Con, that's my precept. And I was going to get Romans 5 and 3 to bring back off of that. And it reads, and not only so, but we glory in tribulations also, knowing that tribulation worketh patience. And then verse 4, and patience experience, and experience hope. And hope maketh not ashamed, because the love of Yahweh is shed abroad in our hearts by the Holy Ghost, which is given unto us. So I say all this to say, we got to glory in these tribulations. If you're already in a marriage, you got to glory in it. You got to know that your marriage is going to test your patience. It's going to test your patience because you can't leave. You cannot leave. So you're going to be tested.
Bro, that's an understatement, bro.
Okay?
That's really an understatement.
And through that patience, you're gonna gain experience. You're gonna gain that wisdom, like the sister had brought out. You're gonna gain wisdom to be able to, let others know, like, hey, this is what to expect in marriage. Well, it's not gonna be peaches of cream. It's not gonna be, oh, we loving on each other all day, and oh, we sit up under each other, and oh, yes, this and whatever people like to put on social media. Like, it's not that. You might very well have. Okay. You might very well be in that thing feeling like roommates. Yeah, he just here, we here. We in this cycle. Every day look the same. He go to work, I clean up, I take care of the kids. Wake up, do it all over again. It's gonna be some times like that. But when the Most High has blessed you with something as precious as marriage, you gotta hold on to it. You gotta fight for that thing. You got
and that's what we're saying. Oh, sorry.
No, I was like, you got to embrace it because this is the lot that the Most High has put on you. Bakan, you go ahead.
I was gonna say, and that's what we were saying earlier. A lot of sisters don't be wanting to fight, bro. Like sisters don't be wanting to endure. No, they take the easy way out because it's easier to just walk away. Brielle, what are you doing?
Okay.
It's easy to just walk away and not deal with what I'm telling you. Because like I said, I'd be lying if I did not have thoughts. I'd be lying if I said I have not had thoughts. But you have to rebuke those thoughts, repent for them wicked thoughts, and tell Satan to get on somewhere. Your words have power. You gotta remember, we have power in the spirit to overcome these spirits. Look, Christ said, let me find this precept real quick. Let me see. I think it's in John. Let me see. John 16:33. These things I have spoken unto you, that in me you might have peace. In the world you should have tribulation. Be of good cheer, I've overcome the world. Look, Christ overcame these things. He overcame these afflictions, the worst afflictions. Through when I was talking to my husband the other day, I was like, man, the Bible is not lying when it say I can do all things through Christ. You can do all things through Christ. Look, Christ left us the blueprint. He overcame these things so that most of we can follow his footsteps and overcome them too. Mm-hmm. So it's like you got to really believe the words that you speak have power. Hey, tell them spirits to get up out your home, to get away from your marriage. You got to rebuke them spirits, cast them down in the name of the Lord. And how about Shema Shai? Throw up some fast. Like you really got to get in that ring and throw them bows up. Hey, because them spirits not going to back down. Okay. Satan don't care how tired you are. He don't care how exhausted you feel. He don't care that you feel like you're on your last leg. Oh, he loves that. He don't care. Look, Satan these spirits don't take no days off. Spiritual warfare is not going to stop for nobody. It's just like when you go through a tragedy in life don't stop. You still got to show up.
Yeah.
You might be able to take some time off to grieve or do whatever, but life don't stop. You know, life don't slow down for nobody. You still gonna have to go to work. The bill's gonna keep coming. You see your kids still gonna be, all up on you. It's not gonna stop and slow down for nobody. The same thing with these spirits. They're not gonna stop. It don't matter how hard life get. These tribulations just gonna keep coming. So you got to be willing to have some. You got to be able to have some strength and be able to endure the hard stuff. Because it's gonna be some hard seasons where you feel like pulling your hair out of your head. You feel like your back is against the wall. You feel like all hell just breaking loose. It's going to be some hard spiritual seasons. And that takes me to my next point through the spirit, Ecclesiastes 3:1, about everything is a season. Ecclesiastes 3:1. To everything there's a season and a time to every purpose under the heaven. So ultimately everything is a season. Hey, if the Most High, if you and your husband are going through a really hard time, it's just a season. You just got to remember that. And no season lasts forever. Winter comes and winter goes. Fall comes, fall goes. Spring comes, spring goes. Summer comes, summer goes. Say summer about to, it ain't up yet. It's about to be up soon. It may not feel like it, but it's going to be up soon.
Right.
Probably still going to be hot as dogs outside.
Okay.
Hey, everything is a season. And so take that season, like the sister said, like the scripture said, rejoice in tribulations. And it's not easy. It's not always easy. But I really think it's a mind game. Like you really got to win that mind game first. Like if you just sit back and just think like it's not that deep, bro. Like when you let the Most High fight for you, let the Most High be your peace, it changes your whole entire perspective because it's like, you know what? I'm not about to keep stressing about something I can't control and change. I'm not about to keep trying to force my husband to see my perspective. I'm not going to keep trying to plead and beg and get him to see where I'm coming from. I'm just going to take it to the Most High. I'm going to focus on what I can control. I'm going to focus on protecting my peace and making sure that my home is peaceful. I'm going to pray and fast over my husband. I'm going to pray and fast over our marriage. I'm going to make sure my spirit is in check. I'm going to light this candle. I'm going to make sure I'm reading my word every day. I'm going to make sure I throw up a fast this week if I need to. I'm going to play this music around the house, this worship music or this gospel music, praise music, whatever. And I'm just going to focus on what I can control. I'm going to still go out and enjoy some sunlight, get me a walk. I'm not going to let this take my peace. Period. I'm going to let the Most High do the inner work. I'm going to let the Most High change my husband and soften his heart because only the Most High can do it. So you got to change your mindset. Like you got to let the Most High be your peace, your foundation. Let the Most High be your strength. If y'all are going through a tribulation in marriage, look, just do what you can because that's all you can do. Continue to be that pillar rest. Continue to show up. Continue to give encouraging words. Pray and fast of your marriage. But don't let these spirits and the tribulations you go through in your marriage change who you are. Because if anything, it's just going to continue to put a distasteful taste in your husband's mouth. Like, dang, we go through a little tribulation. We get one little disagreement. She acting like a doggone demon. Can't control her emotions. That's not going to be And I definitely have fallen. I definitely have failed at that a few times. I'm not even gonna lie. Like I said, it's been a few times where I feel like conflict is only needed to be resolved with me getting out the spirit and me being angry, and that literally does nothing. Like if anything, it just makes my husband be like, "See that? That's what I'm talking about right there. You're acting crazy. That's what I'm talking about, and that's why I don't see what you're coming from because you're tripping out." So it's like. Don't add fuel to the fire. Don't give your husband a reason to be like, and see, this is what I mean. This is what I mean right here. So, just do what you can. And that's really what I'm learning. I feel like I've been, man, I don't know. Maybe I ain't learned it how I need to be. Because it's like the most I just keep smacking me in my head, like, get it together.
Okay.
Um, I'm still learning it. I would say that. So, I'm gonna get this real
And
quick.
we're all learning. We're all learning every day.
Yeah. Sirach 2:1-5. My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thyself for temptation, set thy heart aright and constantly endure, and make not haste in the time of trouble. Cleave unto him and depart not away, that thou mayest be increased at thy last end. Whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully and be patient when thou change to a low estate. For gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable man in the furnace of adversity. So whatever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully and be patient when you're changed to a low estate. When your husband are changed to a low estate, when y'all going through afflictions and y'all are, what spirits are working your marriage, take it chill and be patient because y'all are tried in that fire. So y'all got to come together and fight together. Your husband is not the enemy. Stop treating your husband like he's the enemy. Y'all are a team. Y'all are one flesh. Y'all came together and joined, and y'all have a covenant. You know what I'm saying? Y'all have to fight together and cleave unto the Most High. Don't depart from the Most High, so that you may be increased, so that y'all may Most High willing get through this season and look back like, dang, babe, remember this a few months ago? Yeah, bro, that was crazy, bro. That was crazy. I didn't think we were gonna make it through that. We did, though. All praises. All praises. So you wanna, girl?
Just dropping gems in the chat.
Let me get this real quick. Isaiah 48:10. Behold, I have refined thee, but not with silver. I have chosen thee in the furnace of affliction. So, at the Most High, He chooses y'all in the furnace of affliction, and that's a beautiful thing that the Most High is dealing with us. And it don't feel good at the moment. I'm telling you right now, it don't feel good, but
At all.
blessed is the man that endureth temptation, for when he is tried, he shall receive the crown of life, which the Lord hath promised them that love Him. So you're blessed, when you endure that temptation. When you overcome that thing, you're gonna receive that crown of life, Most High willing. So I'm gonna get this last person real quick. I'm gonna let you go, y'all. Now we might have to do a part 3 because I've still got a bit good amount to go in these notes. Then we gotta do the part 2 to the other side of this that you was talking about. We're gonna be
It's gonna be a series, y'all.
yeah, it's gonna have to be a series. It's gonna have to because
We'll probably stop at. You want to stop at 2 hour mark?
what time is it right now? We have the 150. Yeah, we'll do that. Let me get this real quick. Deuteronomy 28:54. Yeah, we definitely can do that. Because if we don't stop now, we're gonna be in the thing 3 more hours, and I gotta hit this stove. So that this is Deuteronomy 28:54. So that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eye shall be evil toward his brother, and toward the wife of his bosom, and toward the remnant of his children, which he shall leave. So we have to remember that even from the days of old and the times of antiquity, even in the days of old, like these curses have been there, established that the husband and the wife are going to have an evil eye to each other and hate each other. That's why we see a lot of men leaving their husbands. I'm so like that's madness. We see a lot of men leaving their wives. We see a lot of women leaving their husbands, and we see a lot of baby mama and baby daddy drama. And we have to remember that we're trying to reverse these curses in this walk. We're trying to reverse these curses. So you don't want to walk around having an evil eye towards your husband, and it'll come so slick you don't even really catch it for real. That's why you can't be ignorant of devices. You gotta check yourself and make sure you're in the right spirit. It'll come so quick and cunning and crafty because Satan is like that. Now you're walking around, oh, I can't stand that man, bro. He get on my nerves. I'm gonna leave this man. Oh, he get on my nerves. Oh, just looking at him making me sick. Just you really just can't stand that man over small stuff.
Yeah.
I had to personally ask the Most High to help me get out of my. One time I had to personally ask the Most High to help me get my head on straight spiritually and see with my spiritual eyes, because I felt like it was so much going on that I kind of just was clouded. Like I just felt like my mind was everywhere. You know how you can feel spirits at work, but you just don't really know how to pinpoint them spirits to know what, you know what I mean? Like to rebuke those spirits specifically.
Yes.
And so I just had to ask the Most High to just help me get my head on spiritually, to fight spiritually, because that's the only way we was gonna fight and get through it, is fighting spiritually. That's the only way you can really have a successful fight. You're not gonna get nowhere in your marriage with all that carnal arguing and screaming. It's not gonna get anywhere. And so again, sometimes our judgment and discernment can be clouded due to emotions, and we're just not clearly seeing the spirits that are at work. And so that's definitely something I recommend for sisters to, pray and ask the Most High, hey, to help me get my head on spiritually. Help me to see with my spiritual eyes the spirits that are at work trying to come against my household, come against my family, come against my husband, my marriage, and rebuke those spirits, because these spirits are real. But I'm gonna yield right there. Let's read the chat. She said you get angry and may be satisfied for a moment and then guilt later for the stupidity that came out your mouth. Like actually though, like facts.
Yep.
Like actually. For Yahweh shall bring every work into judgment with every secret thing, whether it be good or whether it be evil. Um not the emoji clocking. All right, assistant coach. Let's get this person she pulled Titus 2:15. Y'all know, did you have anything?
Con.
Okay, I'm gonna let you get what you had to get. Bless you, baby. These things speak and exhort and rebuke with all authority. Let no man despise thee by Hashem I was shy. Hey, rebuke them spirits. I might need to watch this movie again. I was watching I actually might need to watch that. What was it called? War Room. It's free on YouTube. If you have not watched it, go watch it. Like it really puts things into perspective. And if you ain't watched it, I'm about to spoil it. So, anyways, still go watch it. But her husband was he wasn't
He was a demon.
He wasn't. Oh, you've seen it?
I haven't finished it, but I started it. Yeah, I got like.
You don't need to say nothing about it. You ain't finished.
I don't know how to end it. I didn't know how to end it.
You said you don't know how the ending is. You don't know how to end.
I don't know how the ending is. I don't know how far I am close to the ending, but I watched a good bit of it. I had to watch at least 3/4 of the movie. Yeah.
Okay, well, you need to finish it. I don't know what you're waiting on. Anyways,
Tony was getting the ball.
It's a good movie. Yeah, he was being the ball. He was making me mad. He was making me mad for real. But it had really put things in perspective because like he was tripping out, and it's like he was not seeing his wife's perspective at all. What did she do? She prayed. She prayed, and she commanded the spirits to leave. That's what you have to do. Mm-hmm. I'm telling you, y'all, it may seem so small, but baby, prayer is powerful. Your tongue and them words is powerful. Speak with all authority. In the name of the Lord is a strong tower. Mm-hmm. We was just talking about a pillar of rest. And let me share my screen again. We was literally just talking about a pillar of rest and how we are to be to our husbands and how it's a pillar is. Let's and we was talking about on a spiritual level how we can be there for our husbands and be his first line of defense. So now if the name of the Lord is a strong tower, imagine the Lord being that defense for us. Mm-hmm. Imagine this pillar being the Lord. You know what I mean? You got to call on the name of the Lord. Command them spirits to flee. Command them spirits to get up out of your home, to get up out of your marriage. You have power. You have authority. The Lord gave you the authority through the Spirit. Mm-hmm. Pray and fast and get them demons up out your dwelling place, trying to dwell in your temple spiritually within you and within your home. Because again, your husband, your kids too, they feel that. They may not understand it, but they feel the spirits at work. And this is the example you're setting for them. Don't be ignorant, saying devices. You gotta, and I'm not even gonna lie. Sometimes I am very aware when the spirit is on me. I'm very aware. Mm-hmm. You know when the spirit is on you. Examine yourselves. No, you're not your own selves. Yeah. Examine yourself. Like, I know when the spirit is on me. I know when I'm acting crazy. I know when I'm talking crazy out the side of my neck. I ain't slow. I know when I be getting fleshly. And so we have to check ourselves. You know what I mean? We have to be real with ourselves. You know when you're not doing what you're supposed to do. You know when you acting like Jezebel. Yeah. You acting like a demon. You know when you're being rebellious and you being a pillar of stress and not rest. And you being a nag. You know it. You know when Satan is on you. You know it. So we get together. But I'm a yield right there. Go ahead, y'all. Now I'm a yield.
I don't get a precept about that nagging spirit because you gotta chop that down.
Yeah, baby, you was wrong, mama.
Proverbs 27:15, a continual dropping in a very rainy day and a contentious woman are alike. So, like we were saying earlier, through the spirit, give it to the Most High. Give all your marital problems, all the things that you've been trying to beg and plead for this man to do since day 1, day 20, year 5, whatever it is, give it to the Most High. Because you don't want to be that contentious woman.
Yeah.
And the Most High will charge sisters for that. You being the thorn in this man's side when all you have to do is bring it to the Most High. The Most High is sitting there waiting for you. Dang. When is she gonna bring it to me?
Mm.
When is she gonna let me fight for her? When is she gonna hold the peace?
Mm.
You gotta sit with that, man.
And I have a quick point. I gotta say this real quick. I can speak personally. I think that what sometimes happens is because I'm telling you, I would be lying if I said I didn't have thoughts. I'm in the flesh too, so look, I can tell you how my mind be sometimes, and I think that sometimes we don't have enough faith that the Most I can change it. And I can speak personally when I say that, because sometimes I've literally felt like, bruh, I keep praying about the same thing and I'm not seeing any change. I'm just kind of tired of praying about it. I kind of just want to give up. I'm tired. I keep praying about it, and you know what I mean? So I think sometimes those thoughts come, and sisters, they just kind of soak there and they sit there instead of getting up, rebuking, and being like, I rebuke you, Satan. And, reminding yourself through the Spirit, hey, the Lord can do all things. I'm going to get this precept real quick in Luke. Brielle, can you stop? So I can. I'm going to get this real quick in Luke 1:37, because I don't think Luke 1:37, it says, for God, nothing shall be impossible. And so a lot of times I don't think it's that sisters don't want to go to the Most High. I feel like sometimes they have gone to the Most High and they feel, I guess, burnt out and drained, and they are lacking that faith. They're not able to long suffer and endure. And they're just lacking that faith that the Most High can actually change it. And two, they just feel like it's pointless because they keep doing it. And three, they're just not able to long suffer and endure. And so I think that's why it's important to examine yourself. And if you know that your faith is lacking, and if you know that you are feeling weary, and that's exactly why Paul said, be ye not weary in well doing. That's exactly why. And let us not be weary in well doing, for in due season we shall reap if we faint not. You can't be weary. You can't get weary in your prayer and fasting life. Okay, the Most High, he answers on his time when he wants to, if he chooses to, Most High willing. And in due season, you will reap if you don't faint. In due season, your marriage will overcome the tribulation. In due season, you will reap the fruit of your labor if you don't faint. And so you cannot faint when things get hard. If you feel like, oh my gosh, nothing's changing, it's the same thing, take a moment to examine and see, maybe, is there anything that you need to change? Is there anything that you need to do? And then just take a moment to just continue to pray and believe in the God and the mighty power that we serve, and just focus on what you can focus on. Don't let spirits and again, what someone is or isn't doing, get in the way of your salvation and seeking the Most High, because the Most High told you to come to him and lay all your burdens unto him. So regardless, continue to let your burdens to the Most High. But I just want to add that point in that perspective, because I think sometimes sisters do be going to the Most High and they just get tired, they get weary, and they give up. So kind of you. All right, so she's occupied with the baby.
So like, y'all, I had to get you blue juice. But Khan, mighty. That's a good point. That's a really good point. I'm glad you brought that out. But I wanted to get one more thing, because you look, I've seen their videos, the video that we pulled in this video. I think the sister's named Kitty Rose or something like that. Mm-hmm. And I definitely got to watch some more of her stuff, because I've come across it multiple times with social media. But I didn't know, I've never seen that full clip. I've seen like the first, probably half of it. Mm-hmm. Most of it I can't remember. But I just came across another one of her videos, and she was saying how your marriage is loosening the armor of God. Going back to Ephesians 6. So, as we know,
that's spirit. That was my next precept. We might as well get that after you play that video.
Yeah, come. So Ephesians 6.
Can share a screen?
Come, let me see.
Brielle. Goodness gracious. Yeah, like Nassim Razosha, that's just like, I'm gonna just this quick analogy. That's just like you are on a fitness journey and you stop going to the gym because you're not seeing the results that you like to expeditiously as you thought they would come. If you know anything about a fitness journey, that thing take time. Okay. Anything in life takes time. Rome wasn't built in a day. America wasn't built in a day. Things take time. And so just, yes, we serve a mighty God, but that don't mean your marital affliction problems are going to go away overnight or the next week. You might be dealing with the same of problems in your marriage for a few weeks, for a few months, because the Most High is trying through the fire to see, are you going to continue to endure? Are you going to continue to serve me? Are you going to be complaining, walking around attitude? Are you going to continue to pray and fast over your marriage? Because you're going to be in a season as long as the Most High, until the Most High say it's time to get up out of that season.
Mm-hmm.
And also, until you get tired enough of dealing with those same spirits. So you got to make sure you're doing your part and fighting too. Faith that works is dead. Pecan.
I don't know how to put. Are you freaking kidding me? Go drink this juice over there.
Yeah.
Yes, over there. You spilled juice on me. So like y'all, I don't know how to get Instagram.
Maybe she's just trying to share.
Bruh, no, she did it like this, bro.
But that was Brielle last night. I gave her some milk, and the girl poured the cup upside down and started. Yeah, she started wasting on the floor. I popped her. I surely did. She gonna start crying. Yeah, because you know better.
Man, I'm telling you.
These kids be knowing what they're doing. They think they slick.
I promise. But yeah, I don't know how to pull stuff up on Instagram without logging in. I was trying to do all that. So I'm gonna just throw it on my phone. Okay, here. Oh, so I misquoted her. It's your actions in your marriage are loosening the armor of God. Hold on.
And what we end up doing in marriage is, I'm choosing violence today. The armor of God is made to protect us. And what we end up doing in marriage is ended up loosening or removing the parts of the armor of God that are made to protect us by falling into these worldly patterns. For instance, the breastplate of righteousness. You end up compromising that righteousness by falling into these worldly patterns of pride, revenge. Oh, they hurt me, so I'm going to end up hurting them back. You become so consumed with that pride that you can't even forgive. You become so consumed with the pride that you can't even apologize. And then you see that something happens and you say, I'm going to end up hurting them back, and you end up falling into these patterns of revenge. So instead of you actually doing what is right and keeping on your breastplate of righteousness like you're supposed to, you end up falling into this pattern of doing things that bring on ease, of doing things that bring on something instant, something that is soothing quickly, instead of doing things that are right or Christ-like. Your shoes of peace are kind of loose, baby. Did you forget the peace that's needed in conflict? We fall into this pattern of ending up blaming other, becoming defensive of conflict, or else we compare ourselves to other couples because social media tells us that other couples have it better. Every worldly mistake chips away at the armor of God that we are to be wearing day in and day out. And whenever that armor is chipped away, you allow the enemy access. And if he has access, he'll come in and sow division. Don't let the enemy have a footstool in your marriage. I'm choosing violence today, though.
Sisters gotta stop letting saying get a footstool in your marriage.
Cut me up right there. Send me that video.
I will.
That was beautiful. All praises. She said a mouthpiece right there.
Add to story.
Con. You're mocking me too. I was like,
But Con, this is Ephesians 6, and I'll start at 10. Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might. Put on the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. Wherefore take unto you the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to withstand in the evil day, and having done all to stand. Stand therefore, having your loins girt about with truth, and having on the breastplate of righteousness, and your feet shod with the preparation of the gospel of peace. Above all, taking the shield of faith, wherewith ye shall be able to... Let's go down a little bit, please. Quench all the fiery darts of the wicked, and take the helmet of salvation and the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of God, praying always with all prayer and supplication in the Spirit, and watching thereunto with all perseverance and supplication for all saints. So Con. The lesson off like that.
We're gonna pick back up on part 2. I still got to do a part 2 to that spiritual negligence lesson I did. Oh my gosh, what is that?
Lip gloss.
Y'all, now she got a lesson. Is it for today?
Tomorrow.
Oh, she got a lesson she doing tomorrow. What you going into?
Good. No, wait, no.
Rotten fruit, right?
It's about you got fruit, but it's not good, or something like that.
So rotten fruit.
Rotten fruit, basically, yeah.
Okay. So like y'all. So she got a lesson tomorrow going into rotten fruit. Y'all tune into that most high willing. We'll have to Lord willing, we can get on here and do a part 2 this week to art this, and then the part 3, y'all just have to catch in 2 weeks to the next 60 chat, most high willing. But this is real good. We didn't even expect to be on here this long, but yeah, we're gonna wrap it up here because it's already a little lengthy. And Israel attention span be short. I'm gonna be so
okay.
So if you made it this far, all praises. But Lord willing, this edifying. This definitely gives me something to meditate on. It's actually was the spirit that we did this lesson today, because I'm not even gonna lie, I definitely need to hear this. It was definitely a good reminder. So definitely meditate on these precepts, pray for your marriage, and just expect Satan to come, okay? Because he be coming. So just be not in his devices. And sometimes you just gotta peep the spirits at work. Like there's been times where, there's been times where sometimes like my husband would just say stuff and I just be like, bro, that's Satan. Like that's Satan. So you just gotta know when spirits are just trying to get you out of the spirit. You'd be like, I rebuke you off my husband, I rebuke you out of my home. Get up, go on now. So don't be so quick to get in those. Don't be quick to give into those spirits, because Brielle, she was finna press the end screen button. Brielle said, "That's enough." It's mad. She literally pressed it.
Bruh.
He say something, you say something. Now y'all both arguing and screaming because you could have just ignored and just be like, "I'm gonna go pray for this man," instead of responding to the spirit. But
so I can't. Sorry. I sat Judea up on the couch, and I look over and her feet are in the air. She's on her stomach. I'm like, bruh, when did you even fall over?
And she wasn't crying enough. See that? Child like faith, bruh. She chilling.
She just rolling over here.
So Lord willing, this is edifying. Lord willing, we can get on here maybe Thursday to do part 2. Maybe Thursday, most high willing. But y'all have a good rest of y'all week. Like I said, I definitely needed this. This was the boost I needed in the spirit, because this is the boost I need in the spirit. So all praise to the most high. We love y'all. Shalawam.
We love y'all. Shalawam. Kali, how about you?